Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, madam.
How was your weekend?
It was great.
That's good. Welcome to today's lesson, which we are going to look at recruitment. And in this lesson, by the end of the lesson, you should be able at the end of this lesson, I expect you to be able to define recruitment. Number two, apply recruitment strategies. Also, demonstrate a recruitment process. And finally, state the importance of recruitment. So class, who can define for us recruitment? What is, when you hear the term recruitment, what comes into your mind? Yes, Caroline?
I'd say it is the strategic process of identifying, attracting, evaluating and hiring qualified candidates to fill a position in an organization.
So the key terms here is you identify,
Yeah.
identifying,
Attracting,
attracting,
evaluating,
evaluating,
then hiring of qualified personnel in an organization.
qualified
Personnel or candidates.
Yes, the recruitment process is recruitment is simply identifying, attracting, evaluating, and hiring qualified personnel in an organization, just the way she has put it. And I'm going to let you listen to a podcast. And by the end of it, I would want you to state for me or mention the recruitment strategies that you will hear from the audio. Recruitment strategies that you're going to hear from this audio. So listen carefully because you're going to answer a few questions.
So the first part of the recruitment briefing meeting is confirming the details of the role that has been approved. So sometimes between approval and the role going to the recruiter, the manager might change something about the role. So sometimes they'll change the job title, sometimes they'll switch from wanting a temporary position to a permanent person, for example. So they'll tell the recruiter in the meeting. So depending on the change, it may have to go back through step one, which is and normally a budget would need to be approved as part of the first approval step in order to consider agency usage. That is not the case in every company. So next is the interview process. So this includes how many people will be in the interview and how many stages of the interview there will be, who will conduct the various stages, and what type of assessments will be included. So usually there's between 1 to 3 stages of interview, and someone from HR will be included as well as the hiring manager or someone from the manager's department. So assessments can vary from online assessments, numerical testing, verbal testing, and even personality profiling. In some cases, the recruiter will run through the interview framework with the manager. So these are the interview questions they'll ask and how the answers will be assessed. So depending on the job type, they could include technical questions, competency-based.
Yeah, that is it. So class, have you listened to the audio carefully
Yes.
and attentively?
Yes.
So I want each one of you to tell me what he or she has had as a strategy in recruitment process. I mean in recruitment.
I would say recruitment agencies.
Yes, Carol. And kindly, could you be systematic? Because it was kind of systematic if you are
The first one
listening
was approval.
Yeah, approval. Someone else? Someone else?
Advertising strategy.
Advertising strategy. That is the advert strategy. Another one, Mercy.
Recruitment agency.
Recruitment agency. We proceed. We proceed.
Framework.
And before framework, what comes first is the interview process. We have framework, interview framework. And I will briefly talk about these ones. First, you have to seek approval from the senior management of whether to do the advertisement or whether to recruit. So once you've been approved, you now come up with the advertising strategies, which is going to, what is the, as a HR, we focus on minimizing the costs and we maximize profit. So definitely, while coming up with the advertising strategy, you have to go for the cheaper means and a mean that can cover a big mass, a bigger number of people. And then you can also consider involving the recruitment agencies. These are experts in who helps in recruiting. From there, once you've gotten the recruiters, you proceed to interviewing processes. Now you interview the people who have been selected, and then you go to interviewing framework. You now go through the interviews to now find out who are the people who have passed the interview until the last bit of it, whereby you get the best talent for the what? You get the best talent for the company. And next, we are looking at recruitment process. And in this one, there is a slide I sent on your WhatsApp group. So you can open your phones or those who have laptops, and then you send a slide. Can you check? I've sent a slide. I would want you all to go through very fast for us to understand better the recruitment processes.
Stages of recruitment.
Look at your
Yes.
group, at your WhatsApp group. Yeah, the strategies of
Stages of
stages of recruitment. That one.
Okay.
So the stages of recruitment. One.
We stages of recruitment, an overview of key steps in the recruitment process. We have number one, we have planning.
We have planning.
Selection,
We have selection.
yeah, those two are the ones that are here.
What?
And then the
Under selection, I think there's
so
screen with the
Just
resume.
mention them. Then. we're
so
going
under
to-
selection we have resume screening, we have interview process, we have assessment tests, and then we have the three. And under planning we have creating a recruitment strategy,
Yes.
establishing a timeline. No, we have defining job requirements, creating a recruitment strategy, and establishing a timeline under planning.
Continue.
Then under selection, we
Yes.
have resume screening,
Yes.
we have interview process, and we have assessment tests.
So from the slide I sent you, you see that process has been split into two. The first one is planning, and the second one is
Selection.
selection.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if I may ask, after going through the slide, I hope you've understood the recruitment process.
Yes.
All right. Now we continue. When in a group of two, I want you to discuss the importance of recruitment. Discuss. I give you like 3 minutes. You discuss the importance of recruitment.
So for me, what have you found?
I think workforce quality and performance, that's one of the importance. Recruitment, what do you think?
Yeah, that's important. And I have also competitive advantage as a benefit, as an importance of recruitment. Yeah.
And there is also employee retention and reduced turnover.
Yeah, I
So
think
those
those
three.
three. We have come up with workforce quality and performance,
Yes, workforce.
competitive advantage, employee retention and reduced turnover,
Retention. Yes.
and diversity and inclusion.
Great. All these are correct. Yeah, that's good discussion. It means we are fun and you are getting it. And so we've come to the end of our lesson, and in 1 minute, I would like you to write somewhere what you've learned. At least write 2 things that you have learned. Write at least 2 things, and you will give me those papers as you go out. At least 2 things in few seconds. All right, you should be winding up. Okay, that is it. Hand over your papers. So now next lesson we are going to look at selection, and I want when you come next time, you go and look for the difference between recruitment and selection. as we will be looking at selection, I would want you to go ahead and look at the differences and you present it in the next lesson. Without much ado, you have a good evening.
You too, madam.